From what you could gather from what we've heard from the Grandoozy event, what you think?
Well, I have those just in my backyard, the 55,000 people. The numbers are a little less than we had heard originally they wanted to bring in, but by all accounts, except the financial accounts, which we haven't heard yet, it was a success. It was a doozy of a time. Everyone had a good time, unless you were in the line for Uber on Friday night, or unless you came out to your house the next morning and found out that someone had urinated in your flower beds, which happened a few times. But even the neighbors, who were very cynical about it, seemed to be willing to have Grandoozy come back.
Craig Silverman, attorney with Silverman & Olivas, also a talk show host every Saturday morning at KNUS 710. Do you think Overland Golf Course or maybe City Park or other places in Denver will be hosting big events like this due to the success of Grandoozy?
I think Overland is more suited to it. It's flat as Kansas out there. It's the Denver's oldest golf course, and I played it many times in the Denver Prep League. But truth be told, they Grandoozied without me this year. And that little street, Florida, to get all those people through. But Overland survived a lot, including the KKK and the South Platte flooding. They'll survive, and I'm glad, because I used to go there to try to break 70. Now I go there to try to break 80, and I hope to live long enough to hope to break 90.
I imagine that will indeed be the case. Penfield Tate, attorney with QTech Rock, also a longtime state lawmaker. Penn, what's your estimation of the success and what that success might mean in the future?
You know, I think we have to be careful here to measure what success is and by whose estimate. We'll see what the numbers indicate financially in terms of whether the promoters made money off of it. We'll find out if the city made money off of it. I do know that a number of the neighbors, and particularly some of the golfers, would not deem any of it a success, and they're still a bit upset over the event being held. Whether they do anything to try to block future events is unknown at this point.
Michael Fields rounds out the panel, Executive Director with Colorado Rising Action. Michael, do you think this is going to lead to more concerts in places, maybe not Overland Golf Course, but maybe City Park or other places in Denver?
I think it could. It seems like it was a pretty big success. Besides transportation was a little bit rough getting there. I think this has a 5-year contract, so maybe my family and I, especially if Stevie Wonder comes back, we might be there next year. But I think people expect traffic, they expect noise. I think the big thing is always cleanup. And every report that came out said that cleanup was really good. It's, you know, opposed to the 420 event at Civic Center Park that was a disaster. So I think as long as they, you know, do what they're supposed to do, clean things up, I think there will be more of them.
That's a very Colorado thing to do. Pick up after yourself, and we'll do it again.